Today is a WRAL weather alert day. We have a heat advisory in effect, and we could have more strong to severe storms later this afternoon.
And breaking news, crews are at the scene of a fire in southern Wake County. This is a live look at Fanny Brown Road near Fuquay Arena. We'll tell you what we know this morning.
And a Hurricane Helene relief vote. State lawmakers say they've made a deal to send more money to western North Carolina. We'll tell you what lies ahead and in order to get that money to the people who need it the most.
More heat on the way today as the Triangle area was hit with storms overnight. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for an 8-2.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Great to have you along with us. Thanks for making us part of your routine. We have some tower cam video from across our viewing area that gives us a glimpse of what a light show it was in the skies last night.
Yeah, and here's a look from our camera out in Lewisburg as lightning goes off in the distance there as well. Today, we are bracing for more extreme heat and the chance for more storms on this WRAL weather alert day. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner for our forecast. The good news, Elizabeth, just a heat advisory today.
Right. So it's one level down from yesterday. Yesterday was an extreme heat warning. It's a subtle difference, really. It's going to feel like 105 to 106 this afternoon. Yesterday, it felt like 110 to 112. In terms of how that feels to us, it's probably not that different, and it does put us in the danger zone. And of course, we've had multiple days of heat in a row, so all of us are a bit more susceptible to heat exhaustion and that sort of thing. It does feel like triple digits by lunchtime. That continues all the way until 7 or 8 o'clock, so we could have around 7 or 8 hours with triple digit heat indexes today. In Zebulon, skies are mostly clear. It's warm and sticky, 75. Our dew point is at 70, and our hour-by-hour forecast takes us up to 97 this afternoon, so it stays very hot. Yesterday, we had a level 2 risk. Today, it's a level 1 risk. We had pretty widespread wind damage yesterday, and we'll see fewer reports of wind damage with that level 1 risk. It's a 30% chance of storms this afternoon into this evening. We'll talk about how many more days we'll see this coming up. Ken?
6:01, Elizabeth. It felt rather comfortable, more so than the previous days this morning, so that's really a good thing. And as you're getting ready to head out this morning, really and truly, all our major routes are delay-free at this hour. We just have a stalled vehicle. We're on the Glenwood Avenue exit on the northern loop of the Beltline. You can't see it right here, but you can clearly see that stalled vehicle not impacting traffic whatsoever. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
All right, thank you, Ken. Breaking news, crews are battling a house fire in southern Wake County this morning. WRAL's Flynn Snyder is live on the scene on Fanny Brown Road near Fuquay Arena. Flynn, this is still a very active scene.
Yeah, Michelle, firefighters have been here since about 2:50 this morning battling this 2-alarm fire. Take a look at the response behind me. Fewer fire trucks here than what we saw a couple hours ago, but still a small crew remains as fire crews work to investigate the cause of this fire. Take a look at some of the video we captured around 4 a.m. That really shows the extensive damage to the back part of this house. That's where Fuquay Arena fire officials tell me that this fire was centered on. They tell me that one person lives here. They were able to make it out of the house, but that person was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. Right now, again, they are trying to determine the cause of this fire. A small crew still remains here as they work to monitor any potential hot spots towards the back of this house. We'll keep tabs on the situation here, bring you any updates. For now, though, we are live in Fuquay Arena this morning. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News.
And we do have some more breaking news we're following as we're seeing power outages and power being restored now to many people this morning after those overnight storms knocked it out for thousands of customers. Ali Kadlubar is in the WRAL breaking news tracker in Bunn, that's in Franklin County. And Ali, that gas station behind you just got its lights back on in the last half hour.
Yes, Jeff, and luckily that power was restored to this convenience store before it opened. Now, we know that more than 500 customers are still without power here in Franklin County, this being caused by limb and trees falling on power lines. But here's a look at some of that widespread damage from this series of storms, this happening within the last 24 hours. People reported downed trees near homes in Franklin County and Wake and Nash counties. Trees toppled over onto highways, some even causing them to close. As for here in Bunn, Duke Energy crews, they worked swiftly and quickly, power only being out for 3 hours or so. But again, we know that 500 customers here in Franklin County still without power. We were even following a Duke Energy crew just a few minutes ago trying to track down those outages. So we are working to keep you guys updated. Reporting in Franklin County, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
And we are working to confirm whether Raleigh police have made an arrest after shots were fired at a Sheetz on New Bern Avenue. This happened around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. First responder radio traffic indicates two people got into an argument inside the store. That escalated to gunfire outside. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows a vehicle with its passenger window shot out and a tire flattened. Police say nobody was hurt.
Today, state lawmakers are expected to pass a bill that would include hundreds of millions of dollars for Hurricane Helene relief efforts in North Carolina. House Speaker Destin Hall told reporters the bill will be introduced and is expected to quickly pass. Lawmakers spent yesterday ironing out the final details. The state has already approved about $1.6 billion in Helene aid. Governor Josh Stein has said he is willing to approve more money for that recovery.
And WRAL is learning new information about what led up to a deadly house fire in southern Wake County. An incident report is giving us a clearer picture of the hours before 49-year-old Shannon Collins, two teenagers and two cats were found dead inside a home on Rand Road Tuesday morning. And we now know deputies had been called to this home before, even as recently as the night before the fire. According to the report, deputies responded to a domestic violence call at the home around 6:30 Monday night. A woman who lived in the house filed a protective order the following morning, just before the fire happened. Neighbors tell WRAL they've seen deputies at the home in the past. They describe the interactions they have had with Collins and the two teens.
This time they didn't take nobody away. I have seen in the past where they did take the husband away in handcuffs.
Never had a bad word to say, never was mean to anybody, very happy-go-lucky. The kids were awesome. They were well-mannered, very nice boys.
And law enforcement has not confirmed whether foul play was involved. They are not releasing the names of the teenagers. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. State lawmakers are moving forward with several bills to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts and programs throughout state government. One bill bans DEI policies in state agencies. Other bills ban DEI policies in our state's public schools and in higher education. Republicans say they want state agencies to hire people based on merit, not race. Democrats say it's offensive to claim women and people of color are hired for anything other than merit. And they worry ending DEI policies could open the door to discrimination.
The Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg from Duke University.
It was the much anticipated moment that everyone pretty much expected. The Dallas Mavericks took Duke star Cooper Flagg with the first pick overall in the NBA draft. In his only college season, Flagg was part of a Blue Devil squad that made it to the Final Four. He's the youngest player to be drafted #1 since LeBron James did it. He's the 6th Duke player to be picked first overall. And not the only player from Tobacco Road headed to the NBA. Duke's Con Knipple was drafted 4th overall by the Charlotte Hornets. He'll stay in-state. Kaman Malawak was taken by the Phoenix Suns with the 10th pick. Duke now becomes the 3rd program to have 3 players taken in the top 10. Chatham County's own Drake Powell, UNC Tar Heel, is also drafted by the Brooklyn Nets with the 22nd overall pick.
President Donald Trump says U.S. and Iranian officials are planning to meet next week. The two sides will discuss how to move forward after last weekend's U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear enrichment sites. The president says he doesn't know if they will reach an agreement. He says America will continue to ask for no nuclear programs. Trump also continued to claim the strikes were devastating to Iran's nuclear program. That's despite a U.S. intelligence report stating that the damage only set back Iran's program by months.
And you know, Michelle, one thing I'm monitoring here in the WRAL Live Center, how U.S. stock futures are doing because of hearing that news, the president saying that there will be some kind of meeting with Iran. Look right here. You'll see the S&P 500 up 18 points this morning, Dow Jones up about 97, and the same is true for the NASDAQ. And, you know, we saw a big boost yesterday overnight with the futures. So it seems that people are still feeling kind of positive now that that ceasefire seems to be holding. It looked a little dicey there for a bit when there were reports that Iran had broken that ceasefire. But in terms of how stocks will be doing this morning, we'll be watching for the opening bell at 9:30 on WRAL News and Fox 50.
Closing arguments get underway today in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Combs is accused of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The decision could be put in the hands of the jury by tomorrow. Combs did not take the stand in his defense during the trial. He has continued to plead not guilty.
Covering Wake County, a final community meeting is scheduled for today to talk about the 10-year development plan for the northeastern part of the county. The county says the focus on a specific 46,000-acre area that could include homes, buildings, farms, and infrastructure. Today's meeting will be from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Eastern Regional Center in Zebulon. And coming up next, horrific conditions. Those are the words being used to describe the Nash County Animal Shelter as it faces thousands of dollars in fines. We'll explain what the shelter is accused of.
Also demanding answers, North Carolina Attorney General is calling on Power School to provide more information on last year's massive data breach. We'll explain what he's looking for.
And dangerous heat continues for today. Our heat index will feel like the triple digits for about 8 to 9 hours this afternoon, starting at lunchtime. We also have a severe weather threat. I'll show you that as well.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. The heat is an issue again today. We have a heat advisory that goes into effect at 11 o'clock. Heat index up to 106. We saw 110 and higher yesterday. But for the way it feels to us, it's just going to be a subtle difference. You still need to be especially careful outside. It'll feel like triple digits at lunchtime, and that continues until around 7 o'clock this evening. We also have the potential for a few isolated thunderstorms, but we're getting a little break this morning. Looking beautiful over Carr Lake with that gorgeous sunrise, but it is on the warm side already. 75 in Durham, 71 Fayetteville, 70 in Rocky Mount, and 73 degrees in Garner. Our hour-by-hour rain chances about 30%, so we won't see quite the same coverage that we did yesterday, but still a few people could see some cells that pop up that produce some severe storms. We'll walk through it on Futurecast. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. So far, so good for your morning commute all around Wake County. The Beltline is we isolate those main roads to the east of us. You see Lewisburg Road, Knightdale Boulevard, all delay-free at this hour. So let's stay to the east of us. I'll give you a live look at I-87 and Smithfield Road. The southbound lanes beginning to pick up just a bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. And that's really true for all our major routes at this hour. And coming up in less than 5 minutes, Jeff, another look at your morning commute.
Look for that. Ken, thank you. We're learning new information about what are being described as horrific conditions inside the Nash County Animal Shelter. That shelter is being fined by the state after a report listed violations, a long list of them. They include keeping cats and kittens in filthy conditions. The shelter is also reported to have euthanized cats less than a day after they were brought in. It's a violation of the mandatory 72-hour waiting period imposed by the state. WRAL spoke with a woman who says she has seen some of these conditions firsthand.
While I was here, a young lady walked in with a young girl to surrender it. And he point blank told her straight up, he said, if you're surrendering as the owner, he said, it dies today at 4 o'clock. We don't have the room or the capacity.
Nash County has released a statement in response to the Department of Agriculture's report. It says it takes the finding of the report seriously and is working to take action to fix the problems. The county will also have to pay more than $6,500 in fines to the state, or they can appeal.
North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson is demanding answers from Power School about the December data breach that affected millions of the state's students and teachers. Jackson announced on an investigation into the hack in January. He says this week he has not yet received answers to basic questions about what happened. That includes exactly how many people were affected and what security flaws may have contributed to the breach. WRAL reported in May that the hacker accessed a compromised account that did not have multi-factor authentication. You can find details on our investigation into the hack on WRAL.com. Just search Power School.
WRAL's latest documentary investigates the shocking increase in cancer trends among young people in North Carolina. Diagnosis Young, the new face of cancer in NC, explores who's being affected by this and why. We hear from patients, doctors, and researchers about possible causes, from environmental reasons to ultra-processed foods.
You're looking around and you're the youngest person by 30, 40 years sometimes.
What can we do to move forward? Because I don't want to die.
Diagnosis Young premieres tonight at 7:30 on WRAL. WRAL streaming platforms as well, and on WRAL's YouTube channel.
Employees at a Charlotte area business say they were held inside 4 hours as ICE executed a search warrant at the property there. ICE says it has taken roughly a dozen people into custody after conducting an operation at Buckeye Fire Equipment Company in Kings Mountain. Employees say they were asked by investigators to give up personal items, including cell phones. Some employees were eventually cleared to leave. They were taken outside to be further questioned by officers.
They asked to see our ID, they asked for our birth date, where we were born, and asked us questions about whether we know about any illegals working at Buckeye or any illegals using somebody else's social security number.
A spokesperson for ICE says this operation was linked to claims of identity theft.
6:18, the time right now on a Thursday morning. We got that heat yesterday. We got that 1-2 punch that was predicted. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with what's next for weather makers.
More of the same, really, for today. We're going to have that potential for dangerous heat and some thunderstorms. But in both cases, we're going to take it down just a small bit. So we have high pressure sitting over us. It's this high pressure system that's been bringing the heat, and it's still not going anywhere anytime soon. We're just going to see everything easing up ever so slightly. Of course, overnight last night and of course during the day yesterday, we had severe storms across our area. We saw that across the deep south as well. Some ongoing storms there across Alabama. This is a look at the storm reports that we saw yesterday. This is where we saw wind damage. It was mostly from the Triangle area eastward, mainly along the I-95 corridor and up toward Virginia, down through Fayetteville. Really from Raleigh westward, we didn't see a whole lot. We weren't looking at a front coming through. It was just randomly where we saw the cells popping up. Same thing again today. We'll see some random cells popping up that could produce some wind damage, but we'll probably see fewer reports. It doesn't look like the atmosphere is going to be quite as unstable as it was yesterday. Starting at lunchtime, a few isolated cells pop up. Again, could be some of those in the same area, but some of those may be popping up and sliding back into the sandhills where we didn't see as much rain yesterday. What will happen with these storms? The rain will be very heavy at times, and in some places we're going to have winds that could knock down trees. It is a level 1 risk for severe storms for today and again tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Our heat continues to ease up slightly. We're going to take a look at that in a second. It's a 30% chance of storms for today and tomorrow, and a 20% chance Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. What that means is we'll have the opportunity each day to see storms, but there just won't be that many people that see them. Heat advisory for today. Heat index will feel like up to 106. Yesterday, it felt like over 110. For us, in terms of how it feels, it's a subtle difference. High pressure stays over us and continues to bring this heat dome here, and it stays with us all the way into the weekend. Our heat index begins to creep up into the triple digits by lunchtime and stays that way until around 7 o'clock. So it's a long period of time today that we see that triple digit heat index. Taking a look at temperatures, no 100-degree temperatures in our forecast, but it is mid to upper 90s all the way until Wednesday. So we continue with that just a real summer-like pattern. Lots of heat and humidity with those afternoon and evening storms.
But no triple digits.
Yes, thankfully.
Excellent, Elizabeth. Thanks. Hey, we're seeing a little bit of traffic beginning to pick up on those Highway 64 lanes coming in out of Zebulon this morning. This around Arundel Avenue. But once you get down to Knightdale area, Smithfield Road exit, you can see here I-87 southbound, all flowing nicely in all directions. Similarly in Durham, this is I-885 TW Alexander Drive. All those major routes are delay free because when you widen out the big picture and you show other routes going into the Bull City, here's what you're looking at. Very little to no delays, and we're seeing that same outcome if you're heading anywhere into the Triangle in the Raleigh area using those major routes. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Still ahead, esports in the Triangle. Rocket League players will be at the Lenovo Center this weekend to compete for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They'll tell you what's at stake for players.
And car insurance costs as rates are expected to go up later this year. 5 on your side looks at how North Carolina compares to the rest of the country and how you can try to keep your costs down.
And still ahead on the Today Show, July 4th, right around the corner, and NBC's Vicky Nguyen breaks down the best deals on barbecues, groceries, and holiday supplies.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
The NBA draft red carpet and suiting up for the big screen.
Ken Smith here now with what's trending on our Thursday, Ken.
Yeah, Jeff and Michelle, Duke star Cooper Flag making headlines as the first pick of the NBA draft last night. But like every year, many players use this opportunity to showcase their fashion sense for the big night. So on the red carpet, Flag was asked about what he was wearing. He was sporting Louis Vuitton's navy three-piece suit. He also donned a bedazzled timepiece by Ubla.
Yeah, expensive stuff that he's wearing. And that's what these players do, right? They use the red carpet as an opportunity. It's a fashion show. They want to know what they're wearing and how expensive it is. And yeah, it's not cheap.
Simple, sharp, classy. The red carpet did show the red bottoms on the shoes.
Yeah,
he should have. Yeah.
He can afford it.
Yes, he can.
Listen, the Fantastic Four returning to the big screen this summer with a new cast. The final trailer was released ahead of the film's theatrical release in July. The film stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Eban Mesbarak.
All right. First phase, the next Fantastic Four. Here we go.
I think it's going to be good.
Ken, thanks.
Well, turning debris into art. Check out these new chainsaw art carvings at Banner Elk Elementary. They were made out of downed trees from Hurricane Helene. Stringham Carvings made them after a grant by the NC Arts Council. The carvings represent the school's 4 houses and their tiger mascot.
Happening today, Wake County Public Health is putting on its final HIV testing event of the month. Testing will be available for HIV and other STIs and $25 gift cards while supplies last. Today's event is at Northern Regional Center in Wake Forest, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The department has been putting on these events ahead of National HIV Testing Day, which is tomorrow. Still ahead this morning, firefighters on the scene. Crews are out early this morning after a house fire broke out in southern Wake County. The information as investigators try to determine the cause.
And power knocked out. People in the Triangle waking up without electricity after storms last night. We'll tell you where and give you a timeline for getting the lights back on.
And we continue with afternoon and evening thunderstorms. It's a 30% chance for today and tomorrow with a risk for severe weather. We'll walk you through what you could see where you are.